everybody? Welcome to another episode of Rob's World of Boxing. Let's get it. Alright, I want to get into this fight video, talk about the fights that happened over the weekend, get into some fights that's coming upcoming weekend, and touch on a couple other little things if we have time. Without further ado, man, it's going to be a pretty lengthy video. It was a lot of fights over the weekend, so let's get into it. First fight card I want to talk about. It happened Saturday, April 8th in Tokyo, Japan. It was it came on ESPN Plus. I'm not sure if it was an ESPN card. Bob Aaron, one of those guys, I'm not sure. So don't mock my words on that. All right. Little disclaimer, I did not watch it, man. I had to go back and check out the highlights. It came on at 3 a.m. Eastern time, so I was not getting up to watch no boxing at 3 o'clock in the morning. So, let's check it out. All right, first fight I want to talk about on the card. It was a 12-round contest at 126 pounds. 126 pounds is featherweight, if you didn't know. If I didn't say it, the card was Kenshiro Taraji versus Anthony Lawaska or some shit. I'm sorry, not some shit. It's your last name, but I don't know how to pronounce it, buddy. So it was, that guy versus Kenshiro Taraji card. All right, but let's get into the undercard. First fight I want to talk about on the undercard with a 12-round contest, 126 pounds. 126 pounds is featherweight. If you didn't know, it was Raya Abe versus Kiko Martinez. Raya Abe was 25-3. Kiko Martinez was 44-11. Raya Abe ended up defeating Kiko Martinez by unanimous decision. One judge had to fight 117 to 111, and the final two judges had to fight 119 to 109. All for your winner by unanimous decision, as I stated. Raya Abe getting that win over a savvy vet, Kiko Martinez, man. Yeah, man. Before the fight, I was saying like this was a make and break fight for Kiko. You know, people were saying he should have retired his last fight, and yeah, man, this down there put the icing on the cake, man. You probably should hang it up now, Kiko. You know, and call it a career. But shit, who am I to say? Good job, Raya Abe, getting that win though. All right, next fight I want to talk about on the card. It was a 12-round contest at 118 pounds. 118 pounds is bantamweight, if you didn't know. It was Tacoma Inoue versus Libero Salas. Tacoma Inoue was 17-1. Libero Salas was 35-6 with one draw. Okay, this was for a vacant WBA belt, the WBA belt that Tacoma Inoue's big brother gave up, Noi Inoue. So he was trying to get that belt, which he did get by defeating Libero Salas by unanimous decision. One judge had to fight 116 to 112, and another judge had to fight 117 to 111, and a final judge had to fight 118 to 110. All for your winner, as I stated, by unanimous decision. Tacoma Inoue getting that belt his brother relinquished when he moved up to 122 and becoming champ at bantamweight. Good job, Tacoma Inoue. All right, next fight I want to talk about on the card. It was a 12-round contest at junior flyweight. Junior flyweight is 108 pounds, if you didn't know. It was Kenshiro Taraji, as I stated in the beginning of the video, who was 20-1 with 13 KOs, versus Anthony Olasquaga. Yeah, he was 5-0 with 3 KOs. All right, Kenshiro Taraji ended up defeating Anthony. That's what I'm calling him, Anthony. By 9th round TKO win. Well, he scored a 9th round TKO versus Anthony, getting a win to retain his WBA and WBC junior flyweight titles, man. Good job, Kenshiro Taraji, getting that win, keeping your winning ways alive, and keeping those belts around your waist, man. Good job, champ. Good job, all those fighters on that card, man. It was a pretty okay card. Nothing to write home about. Some smooth in Japan though for the Japanese. All right, let's get into the next card I want to talk about. It happened Saturday, April 8th. Um, it was the zone card. In this case, the zone was Matt Rome, Eddie Hearn, all those guys. It came on at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It was in San Antonio, Texas. It was Bam Rodriguez versus Christian Gonzalez. All right. Yeah. Let's get into the undercard before we even jump into the main event. All right. First fight I want to talk about on the undercard. It was 8-round contest at 130 pounds, 130 pounds, junior lightweight. If you didn't know, it was Mark Castro versus Ricardo Lopez. Mark Castro was 9-0 with 6 KOs. Ricardo Lopez was 16-3. Mark Castro ended up defeating Ricardo Lopez by 7th round TKO, getting that win and keeping his winning ways alive, man. Good job, Mark Castro, making it look easy, man, putting on Fresno. Like I said, man, he can be a cash cow if the zone moves him right, out there in Fresno. So good job, Mark Castro, getting that win. All right. Next fight I want to talk about on the card. It was a 10-round contest, 130 pounds, junior featherweight. If you didn't know. Junior lightweight, I'm sorry. All right, it was Thomas Matisse versus Romero Cezena. Thomas Matisse was 20-3, 1 draw, 15 KOs. Romero Cezena was 16-1, 12 KOs. Thomas Matisse actually defeated Romero Cezena by 10th round TKO, man. He TKO'd Cezena in the final round of the fight after Cezena was winning the whole night. You could say he was putting a beating on Thomas Matisse. And Thomas Matisse dig down, and I say he needed a knockout, and he got the knockout versus Romero Cezena. So good job, Thomas Matisse, getting that win, man, and keeping your hopes alive to one day maybe become champ, man. All right, next fight I want to talk about on the card. It was a 10-round contest at 126 pounds. It's featherweight. If you didn't know, it was Raymond Ford versus Jesse Magladanio. Raymond Ford was 13-0, 1 draw, 7 KO. Jesse Magladanio was 21-1, 18 KOs. Raymond Ford actually defeated Jesse Magladanio by unanimous decision. One judge had to fight 100-90, and the final 2 judges had to fight 99-91. All for your winner, Raymond Ford, man, getting that win. Raymond looked good in this fight, man. He's been improving his last couple fights. He was kind of struggling there before that. Now I see he's kind of getting his footing at at 126 pounds, man, and starting to make fights look easier than fights are actually, because we know ain't shit easy in boxing, man. But good job, Raymond Ford, getting that win. All right, next fight I want to talk about on the court. It was a 12-round contest at 122 pounds. 122 pounds is junior featherweight, if you didn't know. It was Marlon Tapaz versus Marajan Akhmadiliev, who we're going to call MJ. Just make shit easier. Plus, everybody else calling him MJ. All right, Marlon Tapaz was 36-3, 19 KOs. MJ was 11-0 with 8 KOs. Tapaz ended up defeating MJ by split decision, which was a shocker. One judge had to fight 115-113 for MJ. Another judge had to fight 110-118 for Tapaz, and another judge had to fight 115-113. All for that one for your winner, Marlon Tapaz, getting that win, man, and becoming the new WBA and IBF champ at junior featherweight, man, taking that belt and hanging his first defeat on MJ, man. Yeah, man, that was a big upset. I just knew MJ was gonna get this one. I ain't gonna say big upset, cause MJ, I ain't gonna lie, he never really proved himself to me. But he has been champ a while. I think since 2020. So he was a long reigning champion, but he hadn't proved himself to me, man. I don't feel like he had fought anyone, and not to throw any shade, but I feel like Marlon still really wasn't nobody to write home about, and he lost to him. So yeah, that just goes to show where MJ was at, man. But good job, Marlon Tapales. I know I'm not saying that last name right. Put it in my head. Make me say it right, boy. Marlon Tapales getting that win. Good job. All right. Next fight I want to talk about on the card, the main event. It was a 12-round contest at 112 pounds. 112 pounds is flyweight. If you didn't know, it was for the vacant WBO flyweight belt. It was Jesse Bam Rodriguez versus Christian Gonzalez. All right. Jesse Bam Rodriguez ended up winning by unanimous decision. One judge had to fight 118 to 118. 118. 118 to 110. Another judge had to fight 117 to 111. And the final judge had to fight 116 to 112. All for your winner by unanimous decision, Jesse Bam Rodriguez, and becoming the new WBO flyweight champion, man. After moving down and getting the belt, moving up, getting the belt, moving down, he moves everywhere and get belts. That's what we're gonna start calling him, the mover belt boy. That ain't a good one, but we're gonna think of another one. We're gonna give it to him. Something about moving the belts, because that's what he does. But good job, Bam Rodriguez, getting that win, man. Like I said before, man, Bam, he's one of the shining stars in boxing, man. One of the youngest shining stars in boxing. So, yeah, man, if you don't know about Bam Rodriguez, man, go do some homework. Get on it. But good job, all those fighters on that card as well. It was a pretty smooth card, man. Couple championship fights. DAZN is getting way better with the cards. Eddie Hunter's getting way better with the cards, because that was something to write home about. You got 2 title fights in. You got Raymond Ford on there, so that was a pretty goddamn good card, man. Good job, DAZN. All right, next card I want to talk about transpired Saturday, April 8th in Newark, New Jersey. It was on ESPN Plus. It was a top-ranked card. Top-ranked is Bob Arum. All those guys. It was Shakur Stevenson versus Yoshino card. It came on 7 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah. Hold on. And this was the card of all, it was a busy night of boxing. But I ain't gonna lie, this was the card that I was mostly tuned into. I had the other ones on, but I was, mostly focused on this card. Because like I said, from top to bottom, Top Rank never disappoints, man. They have the young prospects and they put on smooth main events, Most of the time, the undercards be better than the main event, man. So I love watching their undercards, so I wasn't gonna miss it. All right, let's get into it. Before we get into it, man, this is a Top Rank card. And Andre Ward and Tim Bradley always commentating Top Rank cards. That's what they do. But Andre Ward was not there. And it was kind of shocking because he started, Shakur Stevenson started his career with Andre Ward as his manager. I don't think he's his manager anymore, but you would think by them having some kind of relationship that he would want to, be there to commentate his fight. Or maybe it's the opposite. Since they have some kind of relationship, he don't want to be there, because he don't want to be biased, and he knows he has a biased opinion when it comes to Shakur Stevenson. So maybe that's what it was, why he didn't commentate the fight. But I feel it was a little, odd that he wasn't there. All right, but let's get into it. First fight I want to talk about on the card. It was a 6-round contest at, damn, I didn't even write it down. But I think, what Kevin Davis, I think he had 140 pounds. Yeah, I think Kevin had 140. So 140 is junior welterweight, if you didn't know. it was Kelvin Davis. Damn, I didn't write his record versus his opponent. I didn't. Versus, what was his first name? Last name was Morales, and I didn't write his record either. I didn't drop the ball, y'all. If y'all got it, slap it in the comment. I did get Kelvin, from Norfolk, Virginia, and Morales is from the DR. God damn, it was so many fights on. I got to write the people. All right, but anyway, Kelvin Davis ended up scoring a unanimous decision win over Morales. It was nothing to write home about, man. Maybe that's why I forgot to write in the little details of this fight. Kelvin Night Davis scored, like I said, unanimous decision. One judge had to fight 59-55, and the final two judges had to fight 60-54. All for your winner, Kelvin Davis, man. The older brother of Keyshawn Davis, if I didn't say it. All right, let's get into the next fight on the card. It was an 8-round contest at 126 pounds. 126 pounds is featherweight. If you didn't know, it was Bruce Shushu Carrington versus Brandon Chambers. Bruce Shushu Carrington was 6-0, 3 KOs. He is 26 years of age, so he's getting up there in age, man. He's the number 8 double stamp prospect on Tim Bradley's list, man. He's from Brownsville, New York. His opponent, Brandon Chambers, was 9-0, 1 draw, 5 KOs. He's from Baltimore, Maryland, and he's a Baltimore Police Officer of the Year, man. So he was in there with 12, man. Let's see if we can get the win. Bruce Shushu Carrington beat Chambers up, and he beat him up and down the ring all night, man, stopping him. Well, not all night, first round. Stopping him in the second round from an accumulation of punches, man. And, the ref has seen enough and stopped the fight, man. Giving Bruce Shushu Carrington the second round KO win. Well, TKO. I really like Bruce a lot. If you didn't know, from my previous videos, he's a star, and he's, man, he's the future at 126 pounds. Bruce Shushu Carrington. All right, next fight I want to talk about on the card. It was an 8-round contest of middleweight. Middleweight is 160 pounds. If you did know, it was Troy Isley versus Roy Behringer. Troy Isley was 8-0, 4 KOs. He's number 10 on Tim Bradley's double stamp prospects. He's a 2020 Olympian. He's from Virginia, man. He trained by Kay Koroma, too, the Olympic head coach. Well, one of the Olympic coaches. I'm not sure if he's the head coach. All right, his opponent, Roy Behringer. He was 9-3, 6 KOs, 33 years of age, and he KO'd his last opponent before Troy Isley out the ring. He's from Toledo, Ohio, and I don't know how the hell he KO'd his last opponent out the ring, because from watching this fight, he's very pillow-fisted, man. There was a lot of talking between these guys, man. Isley, at the press conference, Isley entourage was talking a lot of shit to Behringer, talking, oh, you ain't even got a six-pack, you ain't even got abs, and all this shit. So, it was a lot of build-up, man, a lot of anticipation for me to see what both guys were gonna do in the fight, man. But honestly, the fight was not as impressive as the press conference, man. Troy Isley should be off of Tim Bradley's double stamp prospects list with the dog performance he put on that night, man. And it was his second in a row because he had put on a dog performance against his Quincy Lavalace, and I'm starting to see why Troy Isley is the least talked about Olympian, out of all the, highly touted Olympians, But nonetheless, man, it was a unanimous decision win for Troy Isley. One judge had to fight 79-73, and the final two judges had to fight 80-72. All for your winner by unanimous decision, Troy Isley. Good job, Troy. But as I said, man, you can use some work, and yeah. All right, let's get into the next fight on the card. It was an 8-round contest at heavyweight. Heavyweight is the big boys. It was Damian Neba versus Curtis Harper. Damian Neba was 10-0, 6 KOs. He is 26 years of age. He has the longest reach in boxing at 86 inches, and he's from Poland. His opponent, Curtis Harper, was 14-8 with 9 KOs. All right. Harper hit Neba on the break and got a point deducted after he was winning the round, man. I think what round was like round 2 or something. I didn't write the round, but I know he had displayed some Curtis Harper type shit. Went kind of wild, and I was like, oh, Curtis, he might go off the deep end right now, but in ref, you don't want to. He might hit you too, so you might want to move. But yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Like Curtis Harper, that boy is a loose cannon. All right, Neba actually got cut over his left eye in round 4. Neba ended up stopping Harper, man, in the final round after a lackluster, non-exciting performance from either fighter, man. Yeah, man. Nonetheless, it was an 8th round TKO win for Damian Neba, getting that win over Curtis Harper, man. And like I said, Damian Neba, the performance was lackluster, man. It was nothing to write home about. I feel like he has a lot of work to do. He has the longest reach in boxing, but he wasn't using it, adequately. Yeah, man, I feel like he can use work on that jab and just distance. But nonetheless, good job, Damian Neba, getting that win. All right, next fight I want to talk about on the card. It was a 10-round contest at lightweight. Lightweight is 135 pounds, if you didn't know. It was Keyshawn Davis versus Anthony Yiggett. Keyshawn Davis was 7-0, 5 KOs. He's from Norfolk, Virginia. He's a 2020 U.S. silver medal Olympic silver medalist. And his alias is the businessman, Keyshawn the businessman Davis. All right, let's get to his opponent, Anthony Yiggett. Can you dig it? He was 26-2, 1 draw, 10 KOs. He's from Sweden. He's a 2020 Olympian, and he has never fought for a belt before, So he wasn't fighting for a belt tonight, but just throw that out there, fun fact. All right, get some water. But yeah, Keyshawn was looking impressive as hell in this fight, as he usually is, man. So nothing off the norm, man. It was a big clash of heads in the 3rd round, but no cut appeared on either fighter. But Keyshawn was visibly, rattled up, man, and hurt from the clash of heads. He even took the 5-minute break, and fighters never really take that 5-minute grace period after an incident like that. But you could tell he was really hurt because he down there took all 5 minutes. Yiggett, man, he was taking a beating all night long. I think Keyshawn told him at the press conference, he's going to knock him out by round 7. He said, round 3. And Yiggett was like, round 3? Come on, man, at least give me the 7. He like, nah, 3. But Yiggett made it past 3, and he made it past 7, man. But it was a lot of jockeying for position. I think Keyshawn was trying to get him out of there before 7, and Yiggett was like, nigga, I ain't going. He ain't go, man. He showed a lot of heart, man. But like I said, he was taking a beat. Keyshawn dropped Yiggett at the end of round 8 with a hellacious body shot. Jesus, it was a punch of the night, too. I knew it had to be. Yeah, man, Yiggett is tough as hell, man. He actually got back up after that body punch. I was like, how the fuck did this nigga just get... Wow, like I said, he had a heart, man. Yiggett wasn't no pushover, man. But by the 9th round, the ref had seen enough, man, and I guess Yiggett was just taking too many solid punches, man. So the ref stopped it, man, giving Keyshawn Davis the 9th round TKO over Anthony Yiggett, man. Yeah. After the fight, Keyshawn Davis actually called out Frank Martin, man, in a beastie kind of manner, man. I respect it. Frank said it was a not direct call. I mean, how more direct can you get? I mean, he don't want to. I wouldn't say your name either. He don't want to give you the pub, bruh. You know who the hell he talking to. He was all in that motherfucker. He was, yeah. Uh, yeah, it was a good fight for Keyshawn. Like I said, it was nothing out the norm. Keyshawn did what Keyshawn does. Uh, in my opinion, he's the brightest star out of all the young Olympians, man. Keyshawn Davis. He is the brightest, Olympian. He was a silver medalist. And there's something about those silver medalists, not the gold, but the silver medalists. They come in the pros and dogs. Floyd, Shakur, Keyshawn, all Olympic silver medalists. So, yeah. I feel like him and Frank Morton would be a good fight, but I think they need to just push that out a little more to both fighters build up their resume and make it a big money fight because they both young stars, man. But let's just build it up a little more. But good job, Keyshawn Davis, getting that win and keeping your winning ways alive, which I knew you would do. All right, at the intermission between the Keyshawn Davis fight and the next fight, they had Josh Taylor and Teofimo Lopez there. They was going at it, trying to build up their fight. That's gonna happen June 10th. If you didn't know, Josh Taylor is 19-0, Teofimo's 18-1. Like I said, they was over there talking about it. Building it up, man. It got me very excited, man. There was a lot of bickering back and forth. T.O. wasn't there. Josh was there. He was like, man, you didn't have enough kahunas to come here and face me as a man. And I'm at the UFC promoting our fight and this and this and this and that. And they going back and forth, man. And I think Josh even called him a sweetheart and blew him a kiss or something. It was a lot. But, yeah, I'm excited for that fight. That's going to be an amazing fight, man. I feel like T.O. coming up, man, and, it's a new division. You know what you did at 135, but this motherfucker, was undisputed champ at 140. I don't know if you biting off more than you could chew with that, man. It's going to be a good fight. It clash style. Josh is a good boxer. T.O. is an explosive young fighter. So I'm excited to see. I'm not gonna do any predictions right now. I'm gonna wait till what I do, the week of the fight. But man, it's gonna be a hell of a fight, people. All right, but let's get back into the card. Next fight I want to talk about on the card. It was a 10-round contest at heavyweight. Heavyweight is the big boys. If you did know, it was Jared Big Baby Anderson versus George Aries. Jared Big Baby Anderson was 13-0, 13 KOs. He is from Toledo, Ohio. He's number 1 on Tim Bradley's double stamp prospects. Yeah, man. He actually came out to He came out with Fredo Bang, that top. Hey, nigga hops. Hey, nigga one. It's on everybody top. He came out to that, like he was the main event fighter, but shit, you might as well get used to it, man, because you gon' be the main event fighter very, very soon. All right, his opponent, George Aries, was 18-0, 7 KOs from the DR, fighting out of Bronx, New York, and this is my first time seeing George Aries. All right, Jared was in a minor car accident the night before the fight. He said somebody came and T-boned him and his crew, and But he said it was a minor accident. He wasn't hurt at all, just a couple little bruises, something minor. He said it wasn't nothing to stop the fight for. Let's get into the fight. Jared was actually toying with George. The whole night, man. He was going in there with his hands down. He was dancing. He wasn't taking them serious, man. And I honestly feel like it's time for him to face better competition because he's developing bad habits, man. Fighting lower opposition. Like I said, he had his hands down and he was just doing shit that you shouldn't do in boxing, man. You fight some better competition, that shit can come back to bite you in the ass. So I think it's time to, move up his level of competition before they diminish his skills with, horrible competition. But Aries' corner actually stopped it, man, at the end of round 3 after Ayers was taking a beating, man. Yeah, man. Third round TKO win for Jared Big Baby Anderson. He's now 14-0, 14 KOs. Knocked out every man who has stepped in the ring with him, man. And he's keeping that streak alive. I don't see it stopping anytime soon. Like I said, he need to move up his level of competition. Maybe then I'll see it stopping. But, yeah, man. He's the future at the heavyweight division. I want to see him in there with Anthony Joshua, Dillian White, man. I want to see him in there with a fighter of that caliber, even Joseph Parker, somebody like that. Yeah, but good job, Jared Anderson. All right, next fight I want to talk about on the card was a 12-round contest at lightweight. Lightweight is 135 pounds. If you didn't know, it was the main event. Shakur Stevenson versus Yoshino. Shakur Stevenson was 19-0, 9 KOs. Yoshino was 16-0, 12 KOs. All right, Shakur Stevenson's from Newark, New Jersey, so it was a hometown fight for him, man. This was Shakur's first fight at 135 pounds. He's the number 3 WBC 135-pounder in the world, man. He's a 2016 U.S. silver medalist, as I stated, man. And Shakur had negative 2,200 odds, so you had to bet 2,200 just to start seeing money, on Shakur Stevenson. All right, his opponent, Yoshino. Yoshino was 16-0, 12 KO. He's from Tokyo, Japan. This was his first fight in the U.S. Tough first fight, Shakur Stevenson. Ouch. This was his first time fighting an undefeated fighter, Shakur Stevenson. Ouch. And he's the WBC number 4 lightweight in the world, man. Yeah, man. And this was my first time seeing him. So let's see what he had to offer versus my favorite fucking fighter versus, the best fighter in boxing, in my opinion. Him and I'll say Jerron Boots Ennis and maybe Terrence Crawford. And I ain't gonna say they're the best, but they're the best young stars. All right, because Terrence Crawford and them, they're on another, I'm not gonna say another level, but they're older, so I'm not even gonna put them in that same category. They're the best young stars, Shakur and Jerron. All right, but let's get into it. Actually, before we get into the fight, Bill Haney actually texted Mark Kriegel and told him after they fight Loma, which I felt kind of weird. Like, why are you looking over Loma? Bruh, let's see if you beat Loma. Loma is a dog. So that's not a given. But yeah, he texted after the fight. Well, he texted before the fight. After the Loma fight, we are not, I repeat, we are not moving up. So yeah, that was something to think about. All right, let's get to the fight. Yoshino came out swinging. Swinging. Shit. Yoshino came out, yeah, he did come out swinging. But even before that, he came out smiling. He was chilling, man. At the press conference, Shakur said he was going to wipe that smile off Yoshino's face. Let's see if he did it, man. All right, Shakur Stevenson came out with finesse 2 times, putting on mob ties, and yeah, it was a packed house, man. Shakur packed out that motherfucker. People say he can't sell no tickets. That's a lie, Yeah, let's get into the fight. Shakur knocked Yoshino down in the second round, man. It was a straight left. It was like a flash knockdown. Yoshino didn't see the punch coming, so it put him down, man. Shakur was putting on a boxing master class all night, man. As long as the fight lasted, Shakur dropped Yoshino again in round 4. En route to a 6th-round TKO win. Yeah, man. Ref has seen enough, stepped in. Shakur might be even nastier at lightweight, in my opinion, man. He's more powerful. He's filling out his body, So it looks like he's in a weight room. His back is getting bigger. So he's just naturally more powerful probably at 135, man. And it showed with his first fight at 135, getting it a TKO, man, which he is not known to do, But yeah, man, good job, Shakur Stevenson, getting that win. After the fight, man, he got told what Bill Haney said before the fight about him not moving up, and he kind of went ham, man. He said he's been waiting for that fight his whole life. Well, not his whole life. He said he's been waiting for that fight a very, very long time. He said him and Devin Haney been knowing each other, since they started in the boxing game, basically, and he's been waiting to fight him ever since, man. He said, and every time they spar, he said they done got in the ring numerous times. He said every time they sparred, he got the best of Devin. You know what I'm saying? So that's something to note. If they not moving up, man, he say like I said, he got the best of Dev every time, man. And if they did fight, I feel like that'd be a hell of a fight, man. But I don't see, like I said, I don't see nobody beating Shakur Stevenson. Even though Devin Haney, man, you from where I'm from, man, Oakland, California, the town, man. But I ain't gonna be biased, man. Shakur just that man. He didn't perfect the distance. He never gets hit. He has a jab. He has counter punching. He has it all, man. But nonetheless, it was a good job versus Yoshino getting that win. Your first win at lightweight, and putting your name in a hat. For those lightweight belts. I would recommend that move up, man. I like getting that if you beat Loma, because getting to 135, it looks like it's killing you. You big as hell for the weight. So I recommend just moving up, man. Swallow your pride, man. You'll see Shakur at 147. Man, if y'all both keep winning, it'll be a big, big money fight. Good job, Shakur, getting that win. All right, next fight I want to, not even. Let's get into the next fight card. That was an amazing fight card, as ESPN always puts on, man. And like I said, this was no exception. It was an amazing fight card. Good job, Bob Arum, all those guys. All right, next fight card I want to get into happened Saturday, April 8th in Carson, California. It was a Showtime card. Showtime is PBC, Al Heyman, all those guys. It was Sebastian Fundora versus Brian Mendoza. It came on 7 p.m. Eastern Time. 7 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, let's get into it. First fight I want to talk about on the card. It was a 10-round contest at featherweight. Featherweight was 126 pounds. It was Luis Nunez versus Christian Oliveira. Luis Nunez was 23 years of age, 18 KOs, 18 and 0, 13 KOs. Sorry about that, people. Let me slow my roll. He's from the DR. His opponent, Christian Oliveira, he is 24 years of age. He's 20 and 0, 1 draw, 7 KOs. He's from Mexico, and this was his first fight in the US of A, and it was his first 10-rounder, man. So let's see if that had any effect on Oliveira. All right, Oliveira has never been down as a pro as well. That's something to note. Or Nunez. So that was fun fact. All right, Nunez actually got caught with a right hand in the 7th round, man, and he was momentarily hurt, but he got back, on his feet and regained his weight. He never got knocked off his feet. He regained his composure and he, got back on his toes. All right, it was a back and forth contest all night with Oliveira, putting on a good showing, man, and really showing me something, man. I feel like it really could have went either way, but the judges had Luis Nunez pulling it out, man. One judge had to fight 98-92. Another judge had to fight 100-90, and the final judge had to fight 97-93, all by unanimous decision. All in favor of Luis Nunez getting a unanimous decision win. Those judges had to fight, scored a bigger margin than I had it. I feel like the fight was way closer than that. Maybe, fucking 90, it was closer than that. But I ain't gonna, But I ain't gonna argue with the judges. I mean, shit, they got the win. I mean, they got the job, and it is what it is. Nunez got the win. Ain't nothing to like. It wasn't egregious like, oh, he just robbed them. So it is what it is. I feel like Oliveira wanted to, take it out the judge's hands. That's what he should have done. It is what it is. Good job, Luis Nunez, getting that win. All right, next fight I want to talk about on the card. It was a 10-round contest at 140 pounds. 140 pounds, junior welterweight. Didn't know. It was Brandon Lee versus Pedro Campa. Brandon Lee was 27-0, 23 KOs. He's 23 years of age. He's from La Quinta, California, and he's studying criminal justice. So I don't know what he want to do with it, but that's something to know. All right, his opponent, Pedro Campa. Pedro Campa is 34-2, one draw, 23 KOs, and he's from Mexico. Well, he was 34-2. All right. Both fighters came out throwing some heavy shit, man, looking for the KO. I think both fighters were trying to test each other's chins, and see who had what it took to withstand those power blows. Brandon Lee, Brandon Lee actually was catching he was catching him with the hook, but Brandon Lee actually reaches with the hook more than I like, man. Leaving himself open. I think that's what got him knocked down in the Madero fight, reaching with the hook and, getting countered. But he was catching Pedro Campa with it, in the beginning of the fight. But you can see later on he started reaching and getting caught. Yeah, so you need to work on that, man. In the 5th round, Campa was getting his shit off, man, mainly because Lee was just standing in front of Campa while he rests, and you can't do that, man. I feel like Lee, he needs to work on moving his feet, man, and, moving horizontally around that ring, and when you're tired, because you can't just stand in front of your opponent. Experienced fighters gonna wear your body down. They know you didn't got your shit off. Okay, it's my turn to get my shit off. So, yeah, man, Lee needs to work on not just resting in front of his opponent. I think in the second half of the fight, Campa won the second half of the fight after Lee basically dominated the first half of the fight, and was tired the second half of the fight, not moving, and like I said, sleeping in front of Campa, man. Lee gonna struggle, in my opinion. Let's get to the what the judges had it. One judge had to fight 99-91. Another judge had to fight 97-93. And the final judge had to fight 98-92. All for your winner by unanimous decision. Brandon Lee, man. I feel like he gave a gift, man, in my opinion. Because like I said, I feel like he lost the second half of the fight. Just like the first fight I talked about, that fight could have went either way with Nunez. This fight could have went either way as well, man. So basically, you could have had both of the main guys, Brandon Lee and Luis Nunez, lose these first two, fights. So I feel like PBC did an amazing job, of matchmaking. They not just throwing them in there with no, anybody's. They throwing them in there with people who can actually beat them, man, and arguably did beat them, man. So good job PBC on that end. But like I said, I don't think Brandon Lee is gonna do too good when he fights the top 140 pounders, man. Cause I feel like it's that time. They asked him what he want to do after the fight. He like, well, I would like to fight another fighter like Pedro Campa, and bruh, you can't keep fighting fighters like Pedro Campa. It's time to fight some dogs, man. And they got dogs at 140. It's time to fight some Jose Ramirez's. It's time to fight some motherfucking it's time to fight some dogs, bro. It's time to get in there, man. I say maybe one more fight. You could do a motherfucking Richard Cooney, like a fighter like Pedro Campa. But after that, we want to see you in the Regis, man. We want to see you in there with, champions. That's what I want to see. But good job, nonetheless, Brandon Lee, getting that win, keeping your champion hopes alive, and your winning ways alive. Good job, Brandon Lee. All right, next part I want to talk about on the card, and hold the fuck on. He fired up first. Jesus. All right, it was a 12-round contest at junior middleweight. Junior middleweight, that's 154 pounds. If you did know, it was Sebastian Fundora versus Brian Mendoza. Sebastian Fundora was 20-0, 1 draw, 13 KOs. He's from Coachella, California. He's 6'5" with a 80-inch reach. Actually, I think he's from Florida, but he's living in Coachella. All right, Brian Mendoza was 21-2, 15 KOs from New Mexico. This was his first 12-round fight, man, and he came out to Lil Wayne. Fireman, I'm the fireman, fireman, I got that fire, I'm hiding, I got that fire, I'm gonna try, you get fired up and I'm gonna put him out, you get fired up and I'm gonna put him out, fresh on campus system, he came out going crazy to that fireman, and I should have known. Alright, but let's get into it. Fundora was doing a good job of not engaging, man, and using the jab because he's 6'5". That's what he should do. Boxing well on the outside. But Mendoza caught Fundora in the beginning of the 7th round, man. It was all she wrote. He actually caught him with a left hand counter that Sebastian did not see. And Sebastian was like frozen in time. And then he came and finished him with right hand. Bow! Like I'm some UFC Hammerfist type shit. Finished him. And Sebastian went down head first, man. From a 6'5" fall to head first. That was all she wrote, man. He was out like a light. And that was right after Sebastian Fundora Pops was in the corner saying what he said. He said he thinks he's doing something, but he's not. He's not doing anything. And then he came out the next round, man, and did that. So Freddie Fundora, I guess he was doing something, man. 7th round TKO. Fuck, man. 7th round KO win for Brian Mendoza. Wasn't nothing technical about that. He put his ass to bed. He didn't even try to get up. That boy, he must raise his body up. Ref came over there. He looked at the ref. He like, yeah, he got me. He didn't even try. He could have counted to 30. He wouldn't have got up. It was over. It was all she wrote, man. Big upset. Sebastian Fundora was talking big shit, man. Well, I ain't gonna say he's talking big shit. He's a very humble kid. But he was talking Jamil Charlo. He was talking Tim Tszyu. He was talking big career aspirations, man. Brian Mendoza came and shut all that shit down. One punch, man. That's all it took. One punch. Good job, Brian Mendoza. Jesus. He say, he ain't the same Brian Mendoza who lost them 2 fights, man. And his last 2 fights he has been showing. He sent Jason Rosario into retirement. And he just shocked the world, man, with this fight. Freaking, I forget what his other loss, but I know one of his losses came to versus Jesus Ramos, who's a dog. You know, he's the future at the 154 pound division. You know, so that's nothing to be ashamed about. I don't know where his other loss came from, but Brian Mendoza might be another. Now he is another player at the 154 pound division, but he might be a problem. You know, for those big names, man. Good job, Brian Mendoza, getting that win. Sebastian Fundora, this boxing, man. You know, it is what it is. Can't win them all. You took your L like a man. Yeah. Also, his sister, Gabriella, got the win, man, on the undercard in her fight. But I know she was disappointed for her brother and, very sad for her brother. Probably at the hospital with her brother at the end of the night, man. So, yeah, good job, Brian Mendoza, getting that win. All right, that's it for the fights that happened over the weekend. It was a very, very exciting weekend in boxing, man. If you missed it, you missed out. You should go back and check it out, man. Good job, all the fighters on the card. Win, lose, draw. Like I said, you can't play boxing. Good shit. All right, let's get into the fights that's happening this upcoming weekend. Saturday, April 15th. It's a pretty light weekend of boxing. You know, only one card, couple good fights on it. Let's get into it. All right, card's going to take place in London, like I said, Saturday, April 15th in London on ESPN Plus. Not sure which promotional company, no lie. Usually ESPN Plus is, top ranked, but I'm not sure in this case. All right. The main event is a 12-round contest at heavyweight. Heavyweight is the big boys. And also, the card's going to come on at 2 p.m. Eastern time. 2 p.m. Eastern time. All right, it's for the interim WBO belt, man. Winner takes on Tyson Fury, if that's what he want to do. All right, it's Joe Joyce versus Zhilei Zhang. Joe Joyce is 15-0, 14 KOs, 37 years of age, orthodox style fighter. He stands at 6'6" with 80-inch reach. He's from London, so this is a hometown fight for Joe Joyce. He's a 2016 Olympic silver medalist at super heavyweight. Joe Joyce, man. Let's get into his opponent, Zhilei Zhang. Zhilei Zhang is 24-1, 1 draw, 19 KOs, 39 years of age. He's a southpaw. He's from China. He stands at 6'6". His last fight was actually a unanimous decision loss versus Flip Haragov, who was 14-0 at the time they clashed, August of 2022. So let's see if see what happened when he fight Joe Joyce, man. Let's see what happened. See who can get the win. Pull it out. I feel like, quick prediction, I feel like Joe Joyce is going to get the win versus Zhilei Zhang. I just feel like Joe Joyce is on another level. I feel like, Zhilei Zhang is a good fighter, but he's not Joe Joyce. I feel like this is a setup fight for Joe Joyce to get that Tyson Fury fight, which he should be able to do. I say unanimous decision win for Joe Joyce. All right, let's get to the next fight I want to talk about on the card. It's a 10-round contest at lightweight. Lightweight is 135 pounds. If you didn't know, it's women. It's Michaela Mayer versus Christina Christina. She got a very difficult last name. All right, Michaela Mayer, 17-1. 17-1, 5 KOs, 32 years of age. She's an orthodox style fighter. She stands at 5'9" with a 66.5-inch reach. She's from Woodland Hills, California. She's a 2016 U.S. Olympian. And actually, she lost her last fight versus Alicia Bumgarner when Bumgarner was 12-1 by split decision and lost her belt in the process, or belts. And that fight transpired October of 2022. To get towards her opponent, Christina. And her last name is very difficult. All right, she's 14-2, 6 KOs, 35 years of age. She's an orthodox style fighter. She's from the DR. She stands at 5'4", so Michaela has a big height and reach advantage. She's been around a while. She's the only woman to defeat Alicia Bumgarner professionally, so that's something big. Michaela Mayer couldn't get the Alicia Bumgarner fight, so go fight the woman, the only woman who's ever beat her. So good, good matchmaking. All right, her only losses has came against Katie Taylor and Delphine Persoon. When Katie Taylor was 14-0, Persoon was 35-1, which is nothing to be ashamed about. Both women are champions and great women boxers. So, yeah, she's only lost to the best. So let's see if she's going to lose to the best against, another one of the best and Michaela Mayer, or is she going to pull that out and beat another one of the best like she did Alicia Bumgarner? It should be an exciting fight, which I'm looking forward to seeing. I say unanimous decision win for Michaela Mayer, getting that win and getting back to her winning ways. All right. And other news, yeah, man, boxing back. If you didn't know, it's in full swing. You know, next week it's gonna be a pretty soft weekend, but it's one of the softest weekends, that we have. And it ain't that soft. We got Joe Joyce and we got Michaela Mayer on the card. So if that's one of the softest weekends coming, man, that just go to show you what we got coming forward. If people saying boxing dead, UFC this, UFC dead. Boxing is back. It is what it is, man. If you a real boxing fan, boxing back. The casuals, go to UFC, man. But after this week coming, we got the Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia fight, April 22nd, man. I can't wait for that fight. Like I said, we got the Devin Haney Loma fight. We got the Josh Taylor T.O. fight. We got the Anyway Fulton fight. Man, boy, y'all better cut it out. But yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, all that shit, people. Rise World of Boxing. Yeah.